And a good evening. Welcome out to the patio here out of Lamar University, Sheila Humphrey Recreational Center. Harold Mann along with Coach Pete Rossomando. How about the Cardinal win over fourth-ranked South Dakota? Wow. Coach, real quick there, how exciting was that?
Oh, it was fun. Yeah, Saturday night was fun for sure. It was a great opportunity for our guys to celebrate a huge win at home and give our home crowd something to really cheer for. And they really showed out too. It was a great crowd. The flock was kind of
student body, yeah.
They were in full effect out there behind the visitors bench. It was fun to see that. And when you look across and you see the stands, what is supposed to be the student section filled up, man, it makes you feel really good and feel really proud of what you're doing.
Before we get started, I just want to take a few minutes here, if y'all don't mind. Tomorrow is 9/11. 24 years since what happened to our country. We had a lot of heroes. And one of those heroes was Coach Rossomando's brother, a firefighter in New York City who lost his life trying to save others. And just talk about your brother and just talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, just an amazing guy. Obviously, died way too young, but knowing him, he probably he wouldn't have wanted it any other way. He was coming off work when the planes hit the tower and they were in a shift change, and I don't think there was any thought about whether he was getting on the truck to go to the call of a lifetime, to go save people at the World Trade Center, and he never made it out. But he was a father figure to me. I grew up without a dad, so he was like my dad, and just a great guy, really, really awesome dude, and fun guy to be around. Taught me how to play football and taught me how to love the sport, and really a lot of that has to do with him.
Yeah, again, 24 years ago, tomorrow, a hero, a true hero for our country. All right. Let's talk a little bit about the game on Saturday. A couple players of the week on defense. Kristen Pugh had a nice pickoff in that game. Ben Woodard, Special Teams Player of the Week, sitting over here. He'll be joining us in the second segment. Good job for Ben, and that's really cool. Getting Players of the Week, says a lot.
It does, yeah. I mean, it validates a big win, and it obviously gives those guys something to be proud of, and hopefully continue to work to get better at what they're doing so they can win it again.
Fell behind 10-0. Didn't give it up. I mean, came back, tied it up at 10 by halftime. Rainfall, all the weather messing around with us. The adjustments, or maybe the talk you had at halftime, because just a great second half shutting them down.
Well, I think the thing we talked about all week last week was trying to get them to the second half. Because talked to the Idaho coach after they played here back in 23, and he said, "Oh yeah, in the second half, all of our really good players were cramping up on the sideline. We didn't even." And I said, "Man, if we could have ever got them to the second half, we would have had a chance." So I felt like at 10-10, we were in a real good spot having them here at our home turf, and obviously the humidity in Southeast Texas, and we would wear them down, and we did down the stretch. So it was great.
The progress, a difference of 2 years ago. 2 years ago, we go up to Vermilion to take on South Dakota. And you played them tough that first half. You were right there at halftime, but at the second half, they made that separation.
Yeah.
You have a whole new conditioning. You guys are in just so much better shape now, and that paid off Saturday.
Well, we had three people playing in the game that probably shouldn't have been out there playing in the first place on the O line, and then we had all these freshmen playing on defense. Yeah. You had, Keetron Simpson and Peyton Christian, and all these guys are freshmen, and they're out there playing. And, you can see the development in those guys in the second half where they decided to take the game over. And I know you remember that second half, man. We were helpless.
Yeah,
we were really
flat.
helpless in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
We couldn't hold up. And as much as we tried to pressure them and blitz them and just, they just dominated the line of scrimmage, and I thought our guys did a really good job of flipping that script in 2025.
Some of the highlights for you on Saturday, we talked about Ben and his kicking game, but also your return game. We saw a couple of those returns that were maybe a half a step away from being something special.
Yeah, I mean, I had mentioned LaDamian McDowell a long time ago, and I told you that he's electric and he makes things happen, and he certainly did. He had 2 of our explosive plays on offense, and he had those 2 explosive kick returns, and probably could have had a third had we just kind of worked our way into one of those blocks. But man, he's an exciting guy back there, and I think that's going to help us in the future.
What I like about him and you, your coaching staff, your special teams, you have confidence in him bringing that ball out from 2 yards deep.
Well, actually, we have Xavier back there, Coleman, who's a little bit more seasoned. He's a little bit more of a veteran, and he really helped bring LaDamian along. Really did a really good job of making him feel comfortable back there and feel comfortable enough to bring those things out of the end zone.
Mason Stalin, your punter, averaged just under 48 yards a punt. He had a 59-yarder. Your special teams really stepped it up.
Yeah, and Ben will tell you when he gets up here, but we felt really good about Mason going into the first week. But, redshirt freshman going to play your first game at North Texas. He's from Frisco, right down the road. And, he got a little nervous and he got a little bunched up. And, this week, man, he just cut it loose. And that's the kind of talent we saw in Mason all preseason long.
On the defensive side, talk about who stepped up for you and made some big stops.
Oh, Peyton Christian played great up front, dominated the line of scrimmage. Solo played really good on the D-line. Those are some guys that played really well. Royce Morales played really well. Braden Faulkner had a bunch of tackles. C.J. Miller, Christian Pugh. I just think a bunch of guys played really, really well. And, that's how you wind up taking a team like that and really shutting them down in the second half is you got to have a lot of really good performances.
Obviously, knocking off the number 4 team in the country. After the game, what was it like in that locker room? Those guys
it was fun. Yeah, it was fun. We had a couple recruits on campus. It was a great opportunity to get them seeing what it's really all about in Boomtown when you win big games and kind of teach them that this is what it's going to look like in the future. And we were able to be really successful with those guys. But yeah, it was fun. We were celebrating. We said we were going to sing that fight song in the locker room after the game, and we did.
Talking about that, the best band in the land, the Showcase of Southeast Texas. Your guys go over there after the game for the school song. I saw a video of that. That was pretty cool.
It's a little different now. Isn't
they pepped it up a little bit. Yeah, they did.
Thanks to Dr. Taylor, he wanted a little bit more. He likes to dance, so he wanted a little bit more pep in that song. So Dr. Taylor,
you're that. You got to dance.
Yeah, you got to dance with the boys next week. That's right.
Just overall, we do have a game on Saturday, which we'll talk about a little later. You got an off week in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Do bye weeks really help out a team when you get yours is after 3 games?
Bye weeks always help. I think it allows you to assess where you are at the time. It allows you to get some injuries healed up. It allows you to kind of, take a collective breath and get ready for the home stretch. For us, it does happen a little earlier than what you'd like, but we're going to use it. We're going to use it to our advantage, and we're going to use it to get better and get some of our younger guys, opportunities to really play and get our older guys some rest.
We are at the patio out here at the Sheila Humphrey Recreational Center. It's the Coach Pete Rossomando show. We're out here every Wednesday. One sidebar, we will not be out here next Wednesday because of the open week. We'll return in 2 weeks, but we're going to get our first break in. When we return, it's the Southland Conference Special Teams Player of the Week on News Talk 560 KLVI. News Talk 560 KLVI. Hey. Harold Mann with you out at the patio here at the Sheila Humphrey Recreational Center on the campus of Lamar University. Our Wednesday Coach Pete Rossomando show. We are now joined by the Southland Conference Special Team Player of the Week, Ben Woodard. Ben, out of Plano East High School, 6 foot, 180-pounder, went to Texas Tech before he came down here and put on that Cardinal red. And
yes, sir.
First off, Ben, let's talk about growing up playing football. At Plano East.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about those days. Some of your biggest memories.
Well, first, my dad was my head coach for 3 years. Did really well. I got frustrated and quit my sophomore year because I wasn't on varsity. But
You quit your dad?
I did. It was a very gut-wrenching moment for him.
So how do you do that? You walk into the living room and say, "Hey, Dad, we need to talk."
It was actually in his office
Oh, good.
at the school.
Now you were a kicker. What else did you play in high school?
Mostly just soccer, football, a little bit of track in freshman year. Other than that, just those two.
Maybe in high school, Plano East, your biggest kick that you remember.
That would probably be against Allen at Allen, 47-yarder to end the first half. High schoolers, don't really care about special teams, so
Right.
I got laces and luckily put it right through the uprights.
Biggest rival in high school.
That would either be Plano Senior, Plano West, or Allen. Our district was labeled the District of Death.
Oh,
So-
yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, you got the Plano schools and several. That area is boomed. You decided initially to go out to Lubbock and play at Texas Tech
Yes,
out
sir.
in Lubbock. And how was that as a Red Raider?
It was fun. I shattered my foot in high school and really didn't have any opportunities outside of a walk-on spot at Texas Tech. Took it, and I was very grateful for Coach Tomerdahl to take a chance on me. So
Talking with Ben Woodard, the kicker for Lamar. Then you end up here in Southeast Texas at Lamar University. What attracted you to Southeast Texas? What do you like about this program?
well, first off, the head coach, he's one of those people that really care about every individual as a person
Mm-hmm.
and really wants to recruit those that he truly feels like can put the program in a good light. And again, my medical history wasn't great. A lot of schools really didn't like that, but Coach Christ and previously Coach Stedman decided to take a chance on me, and I was very grateful for that.
Whether it's fair or unfair, the old saying is kickers live in their own world.
Yes.
Do you have any rituals, anything that your other teammates look at you and like, wow? I mean, do you have any rituals pre-game, during game, before kick, anything along those lines?
Well, the other specialists would say that I have a very abnormal routine in the kicking process.
Uh-huh.
They always mock it during practice because it's so unique.
Just do you tell them you split the uprights?
Yes, absolutely.
That's all that matters. So do you have a certain music you might listen to during warm-ups or anything like that? Because a lot of folks that don't get out there real early don't realize the special teams and the kickers, they're out there first. You're out there a long time before kickoff.
Yes.
Do you have a go-to music you get?
Ironically, a lot of country.
Really?
I don't.
Well,
need-
you're a Plano guy. You got like country.
Yes.
Who's your favorite country singer?
George Strait.
Oh, there you go. How about that? Can't get better than that. What's your favorite George Strait song?
Too many.
Yeah, there's. Have you ever seen him in concert?
I have not, unfortunately.
Oh man, we gotta work on that. We need to get George to come down to play in Beaumont so you can check him out.
That would be amazing.
You after graduation, what would you like to do?
Well, I'm getting my master's in marketing, and so hopefully run my own marketing firm at one point, and if not, at least lead a team within any kind of business.
Growing up, did you have an idol as a football player?
My dad, he played soccer at Midwestern State in
Mhm.
Wichita Falls, Texas.
Right.
Went to 4 national tournaments and really showed me how to go about being an athlete, as well as also him being a coach's son. So really going about things and continuing to be humble.
Talking with Lamar kicker Ben Woodard, the Southland Conference Special Teams Player of the Week. When you found that out, how did that make you feel?
I was actually quite shocked. When SFA played Abilene Christian, their punt returner returned a punt return for a 52-yard touchdown. But I think he was more deserving. But, I mean, I'm very thankful for the conference to think that I did a good enough job to receive the award.
Now, we don't have a men's soccer program at Lamar, so you can't pick soccer. If you're not playing football at Lamar, what sport would you like to play?
Oh, that's kind of difficult. I like being a student here. That's first and foremost.
Student athlete.
Yes. A lot of people think that football players don't study, but we do. We had really good GPA last semester. I would say probably track. I ran track in high school. I
What'd you
ran
run?
4x2 and then hurdles.
Talking to a youngster on this team, a freshman, redshirt freshman, what would you want to install into them to become a Lamar Cardinal?
That you are not going to get everything that you want right off the bat. You have to work for it. So just like what Coach Ross says whenever we read the book, Chop Wood, Carry Water, there's a chapter about bamboo. Doesn't grow for the first 5 years, but in the 6th year it shoots up to 90 feet tall. Your time will come. You just have to continue to put the work in.
All right. Again, Ben Woodard, we're going to give you a chance to pick on a few teammates here.
No, I can't do that.
Oh, yeah, you can. One of them got you last week. I can't remember which one, but one of them got you last week.
That's okay.
All right. And you can't pick yourself for any of these. Okay. You can't pick yourself. American Idol. Who would win American Idol on your football team? Basically, the best singer. Who would lose? Who'd be voted out? Just a horrible singer.
I love my long snapper, but it would be Jacob Hefner. He listens to bluegrass music every single morning, and it has become a ritual for him.
Now, is that he's out, or is he the best?
He's the worst.
He's the worst. Okay.
Yes.
Who's the best?
That's difficult. I would say Paul Amodia, considering every single time we do something electric during practice in a game, he's always the first one in the little circle doing something. And then worst, I don't really have a worst. Everybody kind of does their own little thing, and everybody gives good energy. So
this is one of my favorite questions I ask, and I always close it out. 10 years down the line, married, got a couple of kids. Which one? You and the wife want to go out on the town. Which one of your teammates are you going to let babysit your kids? And then on the other side, which one of your current teammates is not getting near your kids?
First off, none of them are going to babysit any of my kids. I love every single one of them, but they will be the fun uncles in whatever they decide to do, and I will not know what my children will be doing.
Yeah, you're not going to leave your kids alone with any of them?
No.
All right. Hey, Ben, congratulations on that big win over South Dakota. Good luck Saturday over in Houston.
Thank you very much.
All right. Ben Woodard, the Southland Conference Special Teams Player of the Week. News Talk 560 KLVI. We are back out at the patio here at the Sheila Humphrey Recreational Center on campus at Lamar University. Rejoined by head coach Pete Rossomando. We had Ben Woodard on with us moments ago, Coach. Just talk about Ben and the special teams play and his progress since he's been here.
Yeah, how about that guy, huh? He could talk up a blue streak, can't he?
Yeah.
But yeah, he's made an unbelievable amount of improvement. He came in right away, became our kickoff guy. And then, we brought in a guy last year from Australia, and Chase was just a little bit more consistent, took over, and Ben just was battling for the kick job. And then he finally won that job in a big way. Obviously, he won a game, won the job all in the same week, and really just never looked back from there. And he's always been an exceptional leader and a guy that you trust and you count on. But now as an athlete, he's really good, and he's exceptional at what he does. And we're happy to have him because we know we can count on him to make one when we need it.
This is a guy that you picked up out of Texas Tech.
Yeah.
Another one of your players, and you've got a handful of players, that's a coach's son.
Yeah.
And that says a lot.
Yeah. Oh, it does. And, he's been coached hard his whole life. That's the good news about him. And he can take hard coaching and he can use it as a constructive criticism, not just somebody beating him down. So Ben does a really good job with that. And he's probably harder on himself than any of us could be. So
improvements from week 1 to week 2, obviously a lot of pre-snap mistakes up in Denton. And you worked hard on that and you corrected that.
Yeah, our guys did a really good job with it. During the course of the week, we put them on a clock, and they did a great job of making sure that happened on Saturday, and they executed it really, really well. And I think, on the defensive side of the ball, we just did a really good job with gap integrity and making sure we stayed in our gaps and put some pressure on the quarterback, which is really always critical in those types of games where it's close and tight game later on in the game, and they put some pressure on that guy, but. And more importantly, offense, that you just thought we had some things clicking. We had some run game, we had some quick pass game. So we did some good things on the offensive side of the ball. We still got a lot of work to do. I think our guys are continuing to work at it and try to get better at those things. We have to make more explosive plays on offense. I know that.
they drove downfield and they scored at the 11:15 mark, basically going 7 plays, 75 yards, taking a little bit over 3 minutes off the clock, and quickly 7-0. And then you guys pretty much shut them down from there.
Yeah, but they had a, that we got off the field. We thought we were getting off the field on third down. They got a penalty.
Yes,
they ran a play down in the red area to score a touchdown, which we kind of all knew was coming, and we just we didn't communicate it across the board, and they scored. But I didn't really feel like we didn't play well in the first drive. We could have made a couple plays that we didn't, but for the most part, I thought we were where we were supposed to be, and I kind of figured that if we could continue to play like that, we're going to be okay.
You talk about slowing down their offense. They had an All-American quarterback and an All-American running back, and your defense, I thought, matched up well against them and did a good job.
Yeah, the running back went out in the second quarter and never really came back. And, I think our guys were really physical with them. And I think that always, turns the tide of a ball game when you're physical with the runners. And again, the quarterback's a good player, but we got after him and we got him off his spot and we made him throw from the run. And I think those things always help.
Cardinals win it again over 4th-ranked South Dakota. Rankings come out, and I've got the stats poll in front of me. Ranked number 24 in the country in the FCS stats poll. South Dakota went from 4 to 12, I believe. Just obviously, you'll love looking at the top 25, and you love seeing Lamar in there. But I'm biased, of course. I think y'all should have been a little bit higher. Do you play anything to that at all?
I mean, I try not to, but I think what I think that shows is respect for your team, and I think that was a little disrespectful, to be quite honest with you. Yeah. I thought, when you beat the number 4 team in the country, I mean, they ranked them number 4. I didn't, and we beat them fair and square.
Yep.
And I thought we would be a little bit higher. I thought our guys deserved to be a little bit higher. But hey, if that's what's going to give us a little bit of motivation moving forward, then great. We just got to continue to work. And again, I always say, it never matters where you start, always matters where you finish, and that's the most important part. So we got to continue to work this week at Texas Southern and make sure we can get the win down there, and then just continue to build on what we're trying to work for. We'll talk more about Texas Southern during the next segment as we get ready to take a break. Real quick here, recapping the game against South Dakota. You had a chance to break down, look at the video. Just to recap that game before we get into our next segment. I think there were about 5 plays on defense we probably want to have back, based on what we watched on film. I think special teams, our punt team was almost perfect. There was one play where I'd say, this was not the way we wanted it, but the punter was good, the protection was good, the coverage was good. I thought our kick return team was excellent. I thought our kickoff coverage team was really good. I want to say they had 57 yards of kickoff returns against Iowa State, who's a pretty darn good team.
Yeah.
And, we shut them down. So we did a really good job in the special teams. And I think, on offense, you showed all the progress in the operation, how we operated. Obviously you had a tip interception on the first drive, which, really if the ball gets out, it's probably going to be a touchdown to Kindon, who's coming breaking free wide open down the middle of the field. So, but those things happen, you can't do anything about it. But I thought the operation was cleaner. The run game was really good. We're really, really physical. I think four backs got touches, which is always a good thing. And, we spread the ball around a little bit on the perimeter.
Going to get a break in. Again, we are at the patio here on Lamar University campus, the Sheila Humphrey Recreational Center. We're back to talk about Saturday's opponent, Texas Southern, on News Talk 560 KLVI. News Talk 560 KLVI. We are back out at the patio here at Lamar University. Out here every Wednesday during the duration of the football season. One exception, we will not be here next Wednesday night with the open week coming a week from Saturday before we return the following week. Our next home game, the 27th, against Central Arkansas. Get out to Provo Humphrey for that one. Saturday, we head over to Houston, 6 o'clock kickoff against Texas Southern. A little bit about them. They are 0-2. They lost to Prairie View 22-21 and went out to Cal and lost to a Power 4 school 35-3. So talk about them a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, they're a much improved team. You watch them on film, and you can see that obviously they're very well coached. They're an operation that is they finally got last year they played with I think their third string quarterback when they played us. Now they got the real guy back, and man, he's a really good player, and he can extend plays with his legs. He can throw the ball. They got some really good wideouts, and the running backs are really shifty, and old line is big and physical. So I think they really have built the team well around what obviously Coach Dishman wanted to do, which is play defense, and play pretty good offense where you can maintain the football, and they've done that. So I think when you watch them, man, last year they kept the scoreless almost 3 quarters. So
Yeah.
I think it was 5 minutes left in the third when we finally scored our first point. So they did a really good job last year, and they got another group of 11 really good defensive players. So I think they're much improved. Obviously, they play their rivalry game early, and then they go to Cal last week, and 11-0 at halftime was the score to the Cal game, and they were right in it. So I think that's a testament to Coach Dish and his crew down there. They're doing a great job.
When you're talking about Coach Dish, for you youngsters, there used to be another team in Houston called the Houston Oilers.
Yeah.
You youngsters may not remember that, but you remember Chris Dishman for the Houston Oilers. He is their head coach, and he's going into his second year.
Yeah, he was a great player. I saw him before the game last year, and I'm like, hey, I just want to shake your hand because, I watched you play, and I thought you were exceptional, and really good football player. You could see his stamps all over that program in a positive way, and it's going to be fun going out there competing against that guy because I think he does a great job.
Their starting quarterback, a guy by the name of KJ Cooper, looks like he mixes it up quite a bit. He's 31 out of 56 passing this year, 134 yards and a touchdown, and he also has rushing yards. So,
yeah,
does he take off and run? Do we?
Oh, yeah.
What will we see? What will we see from him?
Oh yeah, he's a dual threat guy all the way, and I think he throws the ball exceptional. I mean, you watch him; he can really extend plays deep down the field. There's really no throw that's kind of out of reach for him. I think he's an excellent player and a guy that we got to do a really good job of hemming that guy in the pocket, making him throw from the pocket. Because man, when he gets plays extended, he's dangerous.
Top running backs, a young man by the name of Athene Renfro.
Yeah.
He's out of Beaumont United High School. He's a local guy.
Yep.
And their backup running, or their second runner, is Ford Devon. Now, do they switch these guys out?
Yeah,
Will they both be on the field at the same time?
There are times where they're both on the field at the same time, but they really they do a really good job of rotating those guys through, and they're kind of like the same type of guy. They're really, really shifty and quick. Man, they are explosive through the holes. Their line is so big you can't even see them back there, and then all of a sudden, boom, they're in the secondary. So, yeah, they've done a good job of recruiting guys you could tell based on that they're both kind of the same stature, same speed, that they're recruiting the way they want to recruit on the offensive side of the ball.
Now, in a situation like that, you see that a lot. Smaller guys and the big offensive linemen. You just got to guard the gaps. I mean, how do you? Because you may not see them until they're between the guard and tackle.
Well, on defense, everyone has a gap. So you got to have gap integrity. You got to make sure the guys are in their gaps and that they're securing the gaps until those running backs have made a commitment to one side or the other. Then they can shed the blocks and go make a tackle. But we got to have great gap integrity. We can't get knocked out of our gaps. We got to be disciplined in how we play them and keeping that quarterback in the pocket and keep those runners, going east and west, because those guys get vertical, man. They got enough speed to burn you.
Receiving core, looking at their numbers, they go pretty deep. They've got several receivers that have caught the football. Leading the way is Royan Richardson, 112 yards receiving this year, 7 receptions. He's gotten into the end zone. I think he wears number 84 when all the Cardinal fans go over there. And I think he's the go-to guy, but he's not the only guy.
No, they got about 4 or 5 guys that we got to watch out for. But he's definitely their best skilled receiver. He can run really good routes. He's got good speed. He separates. And then they got this guy number 4, he's dynamic. He's their kick returner. He had 2 kick returns last week for like 66 yards. So he's averaging against Cal. That's against a Power 4 opponent. him and number one, those guys are just fearless back there on returning kicks. But offensively, yeah, they can catch the ball and they can scoot. So we got to do a really good job of getting them on the ground once they get the ball. No missed tackles.
What about on defense? What will they show us? They big up front?
Yeah, they look the part for sure. They're going to look when they walk out on that field. You're going to say, "Wow, yeah, that's what a D line's supposed to look like." I mean, they're long. They got some long defensive ends that can rush the passer and really twitchy. Most of the guys are transfer guys. They're guys that have played a lot of football at other places and come here and have experience. And the linebackers all played last year for them, so those guys really got a lot of experience in that defense. And obviously Chris is Coach Dishman's a secondary guy, so they're going to be really well coached in the secondary, which you can see they are, and they do a lot of different things back there, and they play a lot of different coverages to confuse quarterbacks and do a really good job. And we got Aiden making his first start. I'm sure they're going to work to try to confuse them.
And we'll talk about the first QB start for Aiden in our final segment. It's coming up here in just a minute or so. Playing on a grass field. I think this is the only time this year you'll see that. But you work out. You got the grass practice field over there behind the stadium. So, how much of a difference does that make?
As my man Seth will tell you, that's the bane of our existence, the grass fields. But thank God we got them, and we're so fortunate to have them because it's really good for your body. But now, obviously, playing on grass, it gives you great training for it's because it is different. I mean, no matter how good the grass is, it's going to give at some point, and where turf doesn't. So I think this really gives our guys an opportunity to use those skills they work really hard on Tuesday and Wednesday out on a grass field, out on the field on Saturday. So the grass fields are wide open, which makes our guys cover a lot of ground when they're going from field to field. They don't like that. They like to be on the game field, especially the big guys. We don't want the elephant parade going back and forth from field to field. So those guys really like to be on one field. But, I think in the long run, it's really good for our guys' bodies. It's really good for their joints. It's a great opportunity for us to get off the turf for a couple days a week to get that practice in, and it's going to help us this weekend.
And that's a very busy field. You got the Houston Pro soccer team that plays there. Yeah. Texas Southern plays there. This year, Sam Houston State playing their home games there. So with all that action on the field, does that mess that up at all? Are you going to see some divots or whatever have you out there?
No, I think it's very well maintained. I think it's, from what I understand, it's a good track. It's fast track. Obviously, if Sam is playing Friday night and Texas Southern's playing Saturday, then it's going to be beat up, but we don't have that this week. So I think we're going to be in good shape when we get out there on the field. They limit you to the number of minutes you can spend on the field, so it's kind of interesting.
If you don't know where it's at, it's right across 59 from the former Minute Maid Park, which is now Daikin Park. So if you know where the Astros play, it's right across 59 from that. Easy to find. Nice trip over there. Hey, just a tad over an hour, jump over, watch your Cardinals play on Saturday night. Going to get our final break in, and we're back talking more Lamar football. Pete Rossomando Show on News Talk 560 KLVI. News Talk 560 KLVI. Back out at the patio. I want to get one thing in real quick. James Dixon had sent me this when we had been on, and mine went blank. Last year, game winner at East Texas.
Yeah.
50-yarder.
50. No, remember last year I told you this. We were having a conversation that week, and I told Ben, I said, "Hey, we're not going to kick any long field goals for your first field goal. We're going to try to get it inside of 30 yards." First one was 46-yarder.
Yeah.
and he drilled it, and he never looked back from there. And man, I'll tell you what, for a guy who's never kicked in a college game, at that point, like literally kicked extra field goals and extra points, man, that dude went out there and he kicked that 51-yarder with about 8 or 9 yards to go. So that was pretty amazing for that guy. He did a great job. We were obviously needed it.
Yeah.
We were tied at the time, but we went to overtime. But he finished it off for us.
Very good. And of course, you got to say a big shout out to New Jersey tonight.
Yeah, big shout out.
Your buddy Nick.
Yeah, big Nick Costa up there. He's listening to us. He's taking notes. We're gonna debrief on the way home. So he tunes in and he calls you every Monday and saying, Every Wednesday.
But we all know it all starts with the offensive line, correct?
Well, yeah, and he's an O-line guy. He's an O-line coach, and he loves the O-line, and he wants to make sure that I always mention him at every radio show. So I'm mentioning the O-line right now.
There you go. We noticed in victory formation the other night, number 14, Aiden McCown, out there taking snaps, not Robert. Tough situation there.
Yeah, I mean, Robert got banged up, and we didn't want to put him back out there, so Aiden went out and took the last snap. I mean, he played against North Texas, so he had some college snaps. We felt fine with it, and Aiden's the son of a pro quarterback, and he is a pro in his own right as far as the way he prepares, and it's never really been any different. For him, whether he's starting, backing up, third string, he's always kind of been the same, and I'm excited to see what he's going to do. I mean, he can run, he can throw. I think he's matured a lot in the 3 years he's been here, and
it's a great bloodline.
It's a heck of a bloodline.
It's a great bloodline.
And to be honest
from
with
his uncles to his dad.
Yeah, but his dad is not. He's not a guy that tries to get involved in the whole thing. He lets Aiden do his thing, and and he's better for it. He really is. I think he's learned to grow and mature on his own, and fight through some difficult times on his own, where his dad's not calling the coach, figuring out why he's not playing. His dad he lets it be. We went through the whole recruiting process with Josh and the family, and they trust us. They know that we got his best interest in mind, and we're going to continue to put him in a spot to compete for a job. Yeah,
Josh McGowan, his dad, a longtime NFL quarterback, and now the quarterback coach with the Vikings. So, he's got his own things to worry about. And again, another situation where we talked about Ben and so many other kids from like Major and other guys, a son of a coach.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, definitely. And
they got that football bloodline in them.
They do. And really, I think the son of a coach's wife too. I think, that is, as my wife could tell you, they're the bloodlines of the family, they're the backbone. So they're the ones that make things happen. And because they see it from the coach's aspect, they see it from the player's aspect. They really got a really well-rounded view of what's going on.
Well, being a lifelong Vikings fan, I think your starting quarterback needs to call his dad and send me some gear. No, but I think it's a good opportunity for Aiden, and he knows the system, and he's out there every day in practice taking reps. So I'm confident that also obviously you guys are, that he's ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, you never, like they always say, quarterbacks are like tea bags. You never know what they're going to be till you put them in hot water. Mm-hmm. And that's what we're going to see on Saturday. He's going to be in it, and he's going to be, he's not just in mop-up duty. He's out there. He's really competing, and I think it's going to be fun to watch him compete, because I think he's got really broad shoulders. He's not afraid of criticism. He's not afraid to own stuff, and which I love about him, and I'm excited to see him go. And he's got his buddy Robert right there with him. Robert's going to be there helping him, and he's. Rob's the type of guy that is gonna help every step of the way, because that's the kind of person he is.
And of course, we'd like to see him go the full 60. But who's number 2 on the depth chart this week?
I mean, right now it's Lucas Powell. I mean, obviously Lumberton's finest. Lucas is he's been with us just as long as Aiden, and he kind of knows what he's doing and how to do it, and he's going to put us in a really good situation if he has to go in there. I know he can get it done. We got a lot of confidence in him.
Besides Robert, how healthy are you coming in?
Pretty healthy, yeah. I mean, I think Robert was the only banged up guy we had. We have a couple guys that, working through some little things that always happen at this time. But, all those guys will be out there ready to roll. And Damian Moore, who we didn't play last week, he's back full go. So he's ready to rock. So he's going to be a good addition to the backfield.
6 o'clock kickoff over in Houston against Texas Southern. What are the travel plans?
Yeah, we're not leaving till Saturday. So, obviously it's a night game. If it was a day game, we'd probably stay overnight. But since it's a night game, we'll do everything here Friday. We'll have our normal Friday pregame meal in the Cardinal Club, and then we will get up in the morning, do our walkthrough, have breakfast, and then we'll get on the bus and head out that way and eat out there, and then head to the stadium and get ready to roll.
And after that game on Saturday, it's a week off. We touched on this just a little bit ago. Gives you time to regroup, heal up some bumps and bruises.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to worry about that on Sunday. You know, right now we got to focus. We got to put all of our focus on Texas Southern because they're getting ready to try to come whoop our butts. So
Yeah, because last year they come over here and we get the win, and now it's always tough to win on the road. So
always tough to win on the road, and really, again, they led the game until with a minute to go in the fourth quarter. They led the game, and that's I'm sure they're trying to get their lick backs now, coming back to Houston.
that is a 6 o'clock kickoff, 5:30 airtime here on KLVI. Love to see you over there. A little over an hour drive. Get over there and support the Cardinals, Coach. We'll see you Saturday in Houston.
Thanks, Harold.
All right, that's going to do it from the patio, Sheila Humphrey Recreational Center on News Talk 560 KLVI. Thanks for coming out tonight. We'll see you Saturday in Houston.